All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are going deep, deep down into the psychology of, those super addictive mobile games? The ones where you're just like tap, tap, tapping, and then like, whoa, how did 3 hours just disappear?
Yeah.
We're going to be using Goat Tapper as our case study
Oh,
today.
a good one.
And we're going to be drawing some insights from this really fascinating article that we found. It's called The Psychology Behind Tap to Earn, Why Games Like Goat Tapper Hook Us. I'm sure you've got at least one guilty pleasure game on your phone right now.
At least one.
Don't worry. You're not alone. We're going to find out why we just can't seem to put these things down.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting to me about these games is how they really tap into such basic human desires. It's almost like they've hacked our brains.
Brain hacking. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So the article talks a lot about instant gratification. How does that factor into a game like Goat Tapper?
So think about it. Every time you tap in the game, you get a reward, right? Tokens, level ups, you get a little sparkly badge or something. It's just like a constant stream of mini victories.
It's like ding, 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 ding.
Exactly. And every single one of those triggers a little hit of dopamine in your brain.
Ooh, dopamine. Okay.
Dopamine, that feel-good neurotransmitter, all about pleasure and reward, right? So basically the game is training you to associate tapping with feeling awesome.
I am feeling awesome already.
Right?
Yeah. So it's like a positive feedback loop.
Totally. Tap, reward, feel good, tap again.
It all makes sense now. Oh, man. And the article mentions something called the goal gradient effect, too.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
So that's like hacking our motivation, right? So the closer we get to a goal, the more we actually crave that feeling of accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
Like you can almost paste it. And Go Tapper is so good at this. It's constantly putting these achievable goals right in front of you. Each level, each new challenge, every time you unlock like a new item, that's a mini goal to keep you hooked on making progress.
Yeah.
And they really lean into this. I mean, even just like the way the game is designed visually with those progress bars, and you get those little notifications like almost there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You're almost there. Keep going.
That's not just design, that's psychology.
Sneaky little.
Right.
So we're chasing these rewards. We're constantly feeling like we're making progress. But isn't there something, too, about the rewards in a game like Goat Tapper being a little bit unpredictable?
Yes. Oh, this is key.
What's going on there?
So it's not just that you get a reward for every tap. It's that you don't always know what you're going to get.
Oh,
Sometimes you get something bigger. Sometimes it's rarer. It's what we call variable rewards.
yeah.
And that's actually even more addictive than just getting a consistent reward.
Really?
Think about it like a slot machine.
Okay.
That anticipation of the unknown.
Yeah.
The chance that maybe you'll hit the jackpot.
Ooh, the jackpot.
Yeah, it keeps you hooked.
Okay. So not only are they like pinging our dopamine with all these rewards, but they're making the rewards unpredictable to keep us, on the edge of our seat. Like, what am I going to get? But I mean, the game itself is so simple. We're literally just talking about tapping here. Does that even play a role in the addictiveness?
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The simplicity of just tapping, it creates this really powerful feeling, like an illusion of control, right? Like,
Sure.
I am the one making this happen. It's me.
Right.
My progress, my goat on the screen is getting bigger.
It's all me.
You.
Yeah.
And as humans, we crave that control, right? Like, I want to feel like I am the one dictating what's happening, and Goat Tapper gives you that.
A little dose of control, even if it's an illusion.
Even if it's an illusion, right?
I love it. So even though it's like the simplest action, you're still feeding that desire, that need to feel like you're in charge. Like the game is giving you this tiny little world, but you're the boss of it.
Exactly. And then, of course, they layer on top of that the social features. Leaderboards, clans, you can share your achievements with friends.
Yes.
Suddenly, it's not just you tapping in a vacuum anymore.
The social pressure comes in.
Right.
I've definitely felt that. Like, oh, man, I got to keep up with my friend's score or whatever,
Well, it's not just pressure. It's also about belonging. I mean, we're social creatures, right?
Right.
Even in a silly tapping game, we care about where we stand in the group. You see your friends succeeding, you want to keep up, maybe even beat them.
Yeah, you want to one-up them.
Right. And Goat Tapper knows how to tap into that primal instinct. It makes the game feel even more engaging, even more important than it might actually be.
So we've got this instant gratification, the feeling of progress, unpredictable rewards, the illusion of control, the social pressure. What else? Is there anything else they're doing to keep us hooked?
Oh, there's one more thing, and they're masters at this.
Yeah.
And that is making you feel like you can't quit.
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten to that point in a game where you're like, ugh, if I quit now, it's like all this effort was for nothing?
Totally. Yeah,
That's sunk cost fallacy.
Okay.
We get irrationally attached to things we've invested time and energy in. It doesn't even have to be logical.
Yeah.
And with Goat Tapper, it's like all those tokens you've earned, all those achievements you've gotten, they start to feel precious.
You're invested. Yeah.
You're invested. You can't just walk away now.
It's amazing how much psychology is packed into something that looks so simple.
Right.
I mean, they really have thought of everything, haven't they?
You have, and they're not done yet. Goat Tapper has another trick up its sleeve,
Right.
and it takes this whole concept to a whole new level. It's about long-term goals, rewards. It's a really smart way to build loyalty. Think of it like those loyalty programs.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
See them everywhere.
So they're playing the long game, too.
Right.
Okay. I want to hear about this. Tell me more about this loyalty program thing. Like, what are they doing to keep people hooked in the long run? So they're playing the long game, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this loyalty program thing. Like, what are they doing to keep people hooked in the long run?
So Goat Tapper offers exclusive items and like special bonuses for people who play consistently.
Okay.
It's not something you can just get from a few quick taps. Like you really got to put in the time to earn these.
Oh, I see.
It's all about delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification, so we're willing to work towards these, like, bigger rewards down the line, even if it takes a while?
Exactly. Think about those like loyalty programs you see in the real world.
Yeah.
You're collecting points or miles over time to earn something bigger later. Same idea here.
Okay.
They want to cultivate that feeling of like, I'm invested in this game.
Right.
It's worth sticking around.
It's pretty smart. So they've got us hooked on the instant rewards. They've got us chasing these long-term goals. They're using our social instincts against us. Honestly, it's kind of brilliant. But wait, there's more. Right.
There is.
You mentioned a twist. Something that takes Goat Tapper to a whole new level.
Okay, are you ready for this?
I think so.
Remember all those tokens we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, Goat Tapper actually lets you convert those tokens into real money.
Hold on. You're telling me you can earn real-world rewards in Goat Tapper?
Yep.
Like actual cash?
Actual cash.
That's crazy.
They've blurred the lines between gaming and, like, getting paid to play.
That's wild.
It adds a whole new dimension to the game.
Yeah.
A whole new level of motivation.
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's not just a fun way to pass the time. It's like a potential side hustle.
Wow. This is blowing my mind. It's like they've tapped into like our deepest desires. The desire for entertainment, the desire to achieve things, and the desire to make money. I mean, that's like next level game design.
It really is, and it reflects this massive trend that we're seeing in gaming right now. These tap-to-earn games, they're exploding in popularity.
Yeah.
And it's making people ask some really interesting questions about, the future of gaming and even the nature of work itself.
Okay, so this isn't just about Goat Tapper anymore.
Nope.
It's about this larger shift in like how we think about games, how we spend our time. I want to dig into these bigger implications a little bit. What does this rise of tap-to-earn gaming tell us about our society?
Well, on the one hand, I think you could see it as a positive development. Like it's democratizing earning potential.
Okay.
It's giving anyone with a smartphone, anyone with a little bit of free time, the opportunity to generate some income. And this is particularly relevant, I think, in today's economy where, traditional jobs, they might be scarce. Maybe they're not as reliable as they used to be.
Yeah, that's a great point. It could really empower people, especially people who maybe don't have access to traditional forms of income.
Right, exactly.
But on the flip side, are there any concerns? Like, could this type of gaming become, I don't know, exploitative?
Well, that's definitely a possibility. I think as with any new technology or any kind of new system, the key is transparency. Ethical design.
Right, yeah.
Players need to understand how the game actually works. How much effort do I need to put in for a certain level of reward? What are the potential risks?
Yeah.
But if it's designed responsibly, it could really be a win-win.
Okay.
Players are entertained, maybe they earn some extra cash, and the developers, they get to build a loyal, engaged community.
So transparency is key. If players are going into this with their eyes wide open.
Yeah.
It could be a really positive thing. I still wonder, though, if it kind of cheapens the idea of gaming a little bit. Like, isn't gaming supposed to be about fun, escapism, just pure enjoyment. It seems like turning it into a side hustle kind of takes away from that a little.
Yeah, I think that's a valid concern. But it's also possible that this is just an evolution of gaming. It's a natural progression, like as our relationship with work and leisure time changes.
Mm.
Games have always kind of been a reflection of the world around us. And, as the lines between work and play get blurrier and blurrier, I think it makes sense that games would adapt too.
That makes sense. I guess it's kind of like how games used to be seen as a waste of time, you know?
Yeah.
And now they're like a recognized form of entertainment, a
Yeah.
legitimate career path for some people, even a tool for education and training.
Totally.
Maybe this is just like the next step in that journey.
I think so.
Yeah.
And for some people, I think that ability to earn while they're playing it might actually enhance their enjoyment. It can add a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
A sense of accomplishment,
Mm-hmm.
something that goes beyond just, racking up points or beating a level. It's about getting tangible results for your time and your effort.
I can see that. It's like instead of feeling guilty about spending hours on a game, you could actually feel like productive, even like proud of yourself for earning something.
Uh-huh.
But this brings us back to Go Tapper, right?
Yeah.
It's this simple tapping game on the surface, but now we're seeing how it connects to these like larger trends.
Right.
It brings up some pretty big questions about how we work, how we play, how we value our time.
It's a lot to think about.
It is a lot to think about.
It is.
It all starts with that simple act of tapping, though.
That's right. So knowing all of this, how do you feel about Goat Tapper now?
It's definitely changed my perspective. I
Yeah.
think before this deep dive, I would just seen it as like a mindless way to kill some time, But now I kind of understand the psychology behind it, like the
Okay.
way it's designed to tap into my desires, my motivations. I think I'll be a lot more aware of those tactics the next time I fire up the game.
That awareness is so important
Yeah,
because then you can make more informed choices about how you spend your time and energy.
right.
Maybe you'll decide to set some limits for yourself, or maybe you'll explore some different games that offer different types of rewards or challenges.
Right.
The point is, you're in control.
I love that. Knowledge is power, right?
Yes.
Understanding how these games work gives us the freedom to choose how we engage with them instead of just getting like, swept away by the design.
Exactly.
But there is one more thing I'm curious about.
Okay.
We've talked about the potential benefits of tap-to-earn games. We've talked about the potential drawbacks.
Yeah.
But what does the popularity of these games tell us about our society as a whole?
It's a great question. And I think it gets at some deeper trends that we're seeing in our culture. And it seems like, we're just increasingly obsessed with productivity, with optimization, even in our leisure time.
It's true. Yeah.
It's like we always need to be achieving something, producing something,
Yeah.
even when we're supposed to be relaxing, having fun.
It's like we're all playing this giant tap-to-earn game in real life,
Yeah.
Constantly striving for more likes, more followers, more money, more status. Is that where we're headed as a society? Like always needing some kind of external validation for everything we do?
I think it's definitely a trend worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
I mean, those external rewards, they can be really motivating. But I think we have to be careful not to lose sight of the intrinsic value of things. The joy of doing something just because you enjoy doing it.
Right.
The satisfaction of like a job well done. The pleasure of just like connecting with other people. Those are rewards in themselves.
Yeah.
And I think they shouldn't get lost in this pursuit of, points and prizes.
So it's all about finding that balance
Yeah.
between those external rewards, the money, the status, the achievements, and the internal rewards, the enjoyment, the learning, the connection.
Mm.
How do we strike that balance in a world that's constantly telling us to level up, earn more,
Well, that's where I think mindfulness comes in. Being present in the moment, being aware of your motivations, understanding your own values. Those are like crucial skills, I think, in a world that just constantly bombards us with distractions, with demands.
Mindfulness. So it's not just about like meditation and yoga. It's about like really being aware of why we're doing the things that we're doing.
Yes.
Whether it's playing a game, pursuing a career, or even just like scrolling through social media.
Exactly. It's about asking yourself like, okay, what am I hoping to gain from this? What are the potential costs? Am I actually enjoying this? Or am I just like chasing some outcome? Those are really good questions to ask yourself no matter what you're doing.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening for me. I feel like we started with like this seemingly simple tapping game, and we ended up talking about some really big questions about human motivation.
Yeah, we did.
About work, play, the importance of being mindful. It's a lot to process.
It is. It's amazing how much we can learn from just examining even the simplest things.
Mm.
Sometimes I think those really profound insights, they're kind